What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to share a story with you guys that has absolutely zip zero nada anything to do with prison at all. However, this is a story that I really want to share with you guys, and I hope I'm able to convey and get this story across to all of you in an entertaining, interesting, and also somewhat humorous way. Now, obviously, judging by the title of this video, you know that this has something to do with installing a ceiling fan, and you're probably wondering to yourself, Joe, how you gonna make installing a ceiling fan any type of entertaining and funny? Trust and believe when I tell you, I'm gonna do my damnedest to try and do just that. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have right here in my lap is the box and the remnants of what's left over after completing the installation of a ceiling fan. Now, this is really important. I don't know why this is really important. We got the directions right here, and I got to tell you, the directions to this thing, they were pretty thorough and in-depth. They really helped me out a lot. We got some trash in here. We also have a couple of screws, a washer, and some piece that I still have yet to figure out what this is for left over. I'm not exactly sure that's a good thing. I'm not exactly sure if when you put something together, especially something dealing with electricity, and you've got some leftover pieces, you probably did something wrong along the lines. We're just gonna go ahead and say that we're hoping I didn't do that. And you know, again, I show you that because I'm actually quite proud of myself. You know, I don't fancy myself as any type of a handyman, Mr. Do-It-Yourself, Tim from Tool Time. I don't fancy myself as any of that at all. But lo and behold, somehow miraculously, I was able to install this ceiling fan. And I know some of you are probably hearing this thinking to yourself, Joe, you're talking about a ceiling fan. Like, how hard is it for real to install a ceiling fan? It seems pretty easy to me. Says anyone who's never before themselves embarked upon trying to install one themselves. Oh, and real quick, completely off subject, just want to throw this out here. I know there's going to be some comments probably pertaining to my hair or how crazy I look, how I have a punchable face. It probably is a lot more punchable right now, and you're probably wondering why that is. I dyed my hair. I did. I was tired of the gray. I was looking weathered and tethered, and I didn't want to look like that no more. So, you know, if this video had a sponsor to it, it would probably be Maybelline. I mean, L'Oreal. Because it was probably one of those type of products that I used in my hair. No prison hair dye was used for this, even though that is a really good idea for an upcoming video. How to make prison hair. Look for it soon. But anyways, getting back to this Thomas Edison-like installation that I just embarked upon yesterday. Bars! Woo! God, that sounded nice. It all started yesterday at Walmart, like so many stories probably never do. But it started at Walmart yesterday. Me and my wife were grocery shopping, and then, you know, Walmart, they got everything in there. They almost like Amazon. In fact, if there's only 2 stores left at the end of the world, it'll probably be Walmart and Amazon, because I'm pretty sure they're going to have brick and mortar stores coming soon, taking over every mall across America. Completely neither here nor there. This story begins in Walmart. We're doing our grocery shopping, and when we get done, you know, we like to walk around and look at other things. And all of a sudden, we ended up in the home renovation section where we stumbled upon the ceiling fan aisle. You know, they got a whole aisle dedicated to just ceiling fans. Walmart, I'm telling you, a top contender / competitor against Amazon. But we're in the ceiling fan aisle, and my wife says, hey, we should put a ceiling fan in the bedroom. No problem. Baby, you want you a ceiling fan? I'm the man for the job. I can make that happen. Says every inexperienced, handy type of man ever. And yesterday, I was one of those guys. Baby, I got you. I can install that ceiling fan, no problem. How hard could it really be? We leave from Walmart, we get home, we put the groceries away, and football is on. Yesterday was Sunday, football was on. I wanted to watch my Patriots play the Jaguars. I only watched that game for about 5 minutes before it was 21-0, and I was like, what's on Netflix? Better yet, before we get to Netflix, how about we go ahead and try to install this ceiling fan? Yeah, that sounds like a way better idea than watching my Patriots get absolutely exposed and obliterated by them Jacksonville Jaguars. R.I.P. Tom Brady. Ain't look good out there for him yesterday. So the first thing that I do, like any other inexperienced handyman would do, is I open the box, I take the instructions out of the box, and I just completely disregard those. I'm gonna take this thing and I'm gonna start just trying to put it together for myself. I'm gonna put the blades on the fan part. I'm gonna try to hook up. I got no idea what I'm doing. Page 1. Definitely had to consult those instructions for this project. I begin going through the instructions and I'm seeing what each individual piece is for, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem too complicated. I know the complications are really gonna come from connecting wires. You know, I feel like I was working on the bomb squad or something. When it came to these wire connections and this wire needs to be connected with that wire, do not connect that wire to this wire. You better not do that. I am no electrician. I knew this wire installation, it was gonna be intimidating. So I go through and I start reading the instructions, and you know, I want to make sure that I thoroughly read these instructions before I go any farther in this process. The very first thing that they tell you to do is to cut off the power. Now, I could sit here and lie and tell you guys that I didn't cut off the power. Like, who would even believe that, though? You know what? I forgot to cut off the power. I went and I began touching my... If you ain't laughing right now, go ahead and unsubscribe. For real, because I'm going to leave it all on the field today, just like Tom Brady should have done yesterday, but he did. He didn't, because if he would have, we would have won. But yeah, I could go ahead and tell you guys that I didn't turn off the power. You know, again, I ain't no electrician, but I know one thing. I bet you that's the very first thing they teach you in HVAC school or electricity school, Thomas Edison College. I bet you that's the first thing they tell you. Cut the power off. So I did that. I went downstairs into the breaker box, and I found bedroom 1, bedroom 2. I cut off the entire upstairs power. Cut it off. You ain't electrocuting Joe. I'll be damned, I just dyed my hair. You ain't about to pull that gray out immediately. It'll be here in a week, I can promise you that. I cut the power off, and I already know in the bedroom there's one of those little... There's one of these things right here in the ceiling. So I know that this is like a mount for where if you want to install a light or a ceiling fan, you got to take this down to do so. So I unscrew this, I get this out of the way, and then boom, I can see there's some screws. That's where we're going to mount the fan to. Okay, this looks like no problem. I go back downstairs after confirmation from unscrewing that cap, realizing there's a slot right there for that fan to sit in if you do decide to install a fan there. I go downstairs and I begin reading the instructions some more because I need to really make sure I do this correctly. So the instructions go on to tell me that the first thing I'm going to need to do is hang this hanger bracket, and then the fan can slide into there. But once you hang the hanger bracket, you're going to pull your wires through there. Now, I haven't looked to make sure that there's wires up there, but I just unscrewed a cap. So I'm pretty sure if there was a cap and there was a little cubby hole that's about the size of a hockey puck, I'm pretty sure the wires are going to be in there. So I'm not worried about none of this yet. But my God, would these wires ever really come into play? But we're not there yet. And so I'm going through, and the next thing that it begins to tell me about are these wires. And these wires are so important, folks. Again, if you think about any TV show that you've ever watched where they've got 10 seconds and they got to cut the red or the blue wire and it comes down to the last 2 seconds. That's how serious this is about to get. Trust and believe me, we ain't there yet. But so from the ceiling fan, there's 4 wires that come off of this. Now, if any of you guys know about this type of stuff, this is probably like not news to you, but maybe somebody will find this educational. There's 4 wires that come off the fan. There's a blue wire, black wire, white wire, green wire. They're telling me that we're going to take the blue and the black wire, we're going to twist those wires together, and then we're going to connect those with the black wire coming from the ceiling. And that black wire, ladies and gentlemen, is the live wire. Now, before knowing anything about this, I would have automatically assumed that there would be a red wire. Wouldn't a red wire be a live wire? If I had a black and a red wire, I would assume that the red wire was going to be the live wire, and that black wire, I got no idea what that is. But we're not talking about a red wire at all with this installation. We got a black wire and a blue wire. We're going to connect those 2 together, and then we're going to connect those 2 connected wires to that black wire. That's the live wire. There's going to be a white wire that gets connected to another white wire, white to white, black and blue to black. Okay, this doesn't sound too complicated right there. The white wire is the neutral wire, and then there's going to be a green wire. A green wire. The green is the ground. You connect the green to the green. This does not seem all that complicated at all. Whoever said that installing a ceiling fan was any type of complicated, this ain't hard at all. Okay, we connect these wires. There's a diagram right here that show me exactly how this goes. This ain't nothing. Hey, baby, that ceiling fan gonna be put together real soon. You're gonna be nice and comfortable when you're trying to go to bed. By me just studying this wire diagram, seeing the wires that need to be connected, I automatically feel like an electrician. Just based upon picture exhibit number 5, electricity. How hard is that for real? Thomas Edison, you ain't do nothing for... Actually, you did a lot. I go back upstairs. I've unscrewed the cap. We talked about that already. Now, there's a plastic piece that's connected up there. And so I unscrew these 2 screws that are holding this plastic piece. I don't really know what that's for. And if I needed to use that, oh my God, I didn't. But I just feel like that plastic piece is just there for decoration or something. I don't know what it's really for. But I do know that those 2 screws that were holding that plastic piece, they belong to something that is known as the... like bracket screws or something like that. I can't remember. There's a word. They call it like a something. I don't remember. I ain't no handyman for real. But I know that those 2 screws are there to hold the ceiling fan up completely. Just 2 screws. That's it. That's the only thing holding a ceiling fan to the ceiling and protecting you from that thing dropping on your head. 2 screws. I would have thought it would be 4. So I go up there, I unscrew those 2 screws, I take that plastic piece out that, again, if we needed that for anything, RIP to the electricity in this house. Because, my God, we probably just installed something completely incorrectly. But I'm pretty sure, at least it seemed like it, there was no instruction, it didn't say anything about me needing that plastic. I got rid of the plastic piece. Aggie was playing with it. It became a cat toy. When I take those screws out and I take that plastic piece down, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I begin to see the wires. The wires, they are right there. But there is a major problem. Because see, that plastic piece was blinding me, was hindering my vision from seeing that those wires coming out of the house, they were all painted over. They were all white. We're gonna have a very hard time figuring out which wire is which. And I know you're probably thinking, who cares? Wires get painted over all the time. You just scrape the paint off and boom, you can see the colors. You can see your blue and you can see your black and your white and your green. Again, I've never heard of a green wire, but it's a ground wire. It is a ground wire. I learned this yesterday. All of the wires are painted over. Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. We're gonna have to really clean these wires off so we know exactly what color is which, because we need to make sure that we connect that black and that blue to that black and that white to that white, the green to the green. And it's a simple color coding. It's a simple procedure. I clean the wires off. I can see the colors. But folks, the colors coming out of the house, they don't match the colors in diagram picture exhibit number 5. There's a black wire. There is one of those. And there's a white wire. There's one of those as well. But there's also, we talked about this earlier, there's also a red wire, folks. And now I am absolutely baffled. Green wire? There ain't no green wire. There's a red, a black, and a white wire. And in my mind right now, I'm thinking we've got 10 seconds left before detonation and we better pick the right wire. Is it the black wire or is it the red wire? Because in my mind, they both represent the same thing. You done told me in this diagram, black represents live. And red just seems like that's hot. Red, in my mind, the color red either represents stop or hot. And now I am absolutely baffled and I don't know what to do. In fact, I get so flustered. I think that's the right word. I get so flustered with this whole situation. I'm like, damn, the diagram said there'd be a green wire. There ain't no green wire. There's a red wire. Where is the green wire? I get so flustered with this. I go back downstairs to watch the New England-Jacksonville game, and it's now 47 to -2. That's not the real score, but it might as well have been. So I'm sitting on the couch trying to watch this football game, and I'm so mad at the score. I'm so mad that these colors don't match. You can't put a square in a circle peg. It just does. Look, red has. Where is it? What is this red wire? And where's the green wire? Because I don't see no green at all. I ain't colorblind. At least I don't think I am. This is a salmon colored shirt, right?
What color is the shirt?
Solomon. This is a Solomon colored shirt, is it not? I am so confused. I'm so perplexed by what's happening on the TV and so perplexed by what's going on upstairs in the bedroom. I don't know what to do. So you know what I do? I do what any unexperienced handyman husband would do in this situation. I resort to the most trusted source in the world. Google. You know, I don't know if you've ever sat here and thought about this, but ponder this for a second before we go any further. Do you know that Google knows everything? Every question that you could ever possibly muster. Every question. Google has an answer for it. I gotta Google this. I gotta figure out what in the hell this red wire is and how exactly do you install a ceiling fan. Because now this book is again useless to me. Because the colors don't match. Craig, the colors, they don't match. So I get on Google, I probably end up on hgtv.com. I don't know where I end up, but all I know is I type in, how does a guy who wants to be a handyman for his wife, how does a man hook up a ceiling fan? Bars. And I end up on this website, and the very first thing that I see is the difficulty level. And this threw me for a loop. Because, you know, again, at first I was thinking a ceiling fan, no big deal, says any man who's never done this before. And then I begin to get into it, and I start to get a little intimidated when it comes to electricity, wires, Thomas Edison type stuff. But now I'm on an hgtvwebsite.com, and they're telling me that the difficulty level for this project is a medium. Now, folks, that might not seem drastic, but I need to break this down for you to the simplest form that I can. And the way that I can relate this to you and try to convey this realization is through video games. I want to try to equate this to like a video game. Because, you know, I'm like the worst, I'm the worst video game player ever. I can't even beat tic-tac-toe. I say all of that to say this. Any video games that I've ever played in my life, I play them on difficulty level easy. Novice. Never played it. Does not know the layout of the PlayStation controller. That's the difficulty level I play all video games on. So, if I can't even play a video game on medium, what the hell makes you think I'm gonna be able to complete a project difficulty level medium? I've never even gotten a kill in Fortnite. See what I did right there? Current events. I made this video relevant. I did. Just did it right there. Now I'm getting a little more intimidated with the project. Okay, I'm already having some difficulties. Now it's a medium. You're telling me it's a medium. Then It tells me time that it takes to complete the project. Completion time. This website said 1 day. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have 1 day. Ozarks is getting ready to come on. I got things to do. 1 day to install a ceiling fan? And you tell me this is only a medium project? What is a hard? A hard must be building a house from the ground up. That's got to be a hard. And we're just going to jump from one extreme to another. From a medium, bam, building a whole house. We're going to build a skyscraper. That's a difficulty level hard. If a medium is going to take 1 day to complete, the hell did I get myself in here in Walmart? I should have never went down the ceiling fan aisle. But it was thanks to this website. After I, stopped sweating and was like I was stressing, folks. I got beyond, look, I don't care. Okay, you say it's a medium. Okay, big deal. You say it's going to take me a day. Okay, I heard you. Let me just get to where it says these wire connections. And I get to that part. I get to the wire connections part, and it tells me the red wire is also a hot-ish type of wire. It's also a live wire. Red is definitely a live wire. But I don't have a green wire. It tells me if you don't have a green wire, you're looking for an exposed piece of copper, or you're looking for something else that looks like it could be a ground wire. Well, I go back up there and I'm digging and I'm picking paint in this little hockey puck hole type of area that I got to work in. All the while working above my head, lead paint and asbestos probably dripping down into my eyes. And lo and behold, I find a little piece of copper piping. Don't let no junkies find out about that. They'd be trying to take that to the scrapyard. But I find this piece of copper wire. I said piping, it was a piece of wire. This website legitimately probably saved my life. It probably saved me from the electric chair because that's probably where I was heading if I would have just tried to guess. I ain't no cutting the green and the red wire, the blue and the red. I don't know how to do that. If there's 3 seconds left and we got to pick the right, boom, whole city's gone. Don't let Joe be in charge of that. It tells me, it says, look, you're going to connect your black wire to your black wire, you're going to connect your white wire to your white wire, and you're going to connect your green wire to that exposed piece of copper wire. It doesn't tell me take that red wire and connect that to that last blue wire. So I had to make a judgment call. And never in my life have I ever thought that red would go with blue. Red don't go with blue at all. You're talking about like vodka and milk, like oil and vinegar, like red and blue. Where in life does that ever constitute something going together? You're talking about like the Bloods and the Crips, for God's sakes. I'm left with a red wire and a blue wire. And I connect them. Damn it, I connect those wires. It's all or nothing now. We got 3 seconds left and I'm cutting that wire. I'm connecting it. I connect the wires. I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, get on your phone. We're going to use these phones as walkie-talkies. You go down to the breaker box. You cut the breakers on. Let's see if it works. I screw a light bulb in. I put the fan up in the bracket thing. And she goes down there. She's like, are you ready? And I say to her, I say, are you ready? She says to me, she says, yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm trying to make this as dramatic as possible. She said, yeah. She clips the breaker. Nothing happens. I forgot I had to turn on the light switch. So I turn on the light switch. I flip on the light switch. Boom, the light comes on. The fan doesn't, though. There's 3 light switches, though. And then I flip the second light switch, and there's no blades connected to the fan yet. And all I hear, shh. So it's spinning. I'm like, I was going to take my water bottle and put some tears coming down. Because, listen, if you've never accomplished anything before, or if you're not a handyman and you get this far in a project that's supposed to be a medium completion level, completion time all day, if you get this far, there's no words that can describe the feeling, the emotion that's going through me right now as I flip those 2 light switches and light is shining and this circular thing is just spinning with no blades on it. It was a touching moment. My wife says to me, she says, are you still there? I'm here, baby. I'm here. It worked. Somehow, the blue wire and the red wire, they paired up just fine. You think that's it, right? You think, okay, Joe. She cuts the power back off. I got to go back to putting the rest of the fan together. Now, the next thing that you have to do is you got to put this casing around the fan. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. There's a casing that goes around the fan, folks. The casing is this piece right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see. You know what? Let me. The casing, can y'all see this? I hope y'all can see it. Is this piece right here, the circular bowl-looking thing. So that's what like covers up all of the craziness that's going on with the fan. You put the casing on it, that way you don't know that there's only 2 screws holding that ceiling fan up from falling on your head and killing you. So you put the casing on. I put the casing on. You got to do that before you do anything else. I put the casing on, and I tell my wife to go hit the power again. Let's just make sure everything is on. Now, I got to back up. One thing to throw. Putting that casing on, it's 4 screws. That ain't nothing too bad. It's just 2 screws on each side, 2 screws on the other side. but they're so hard to get to, right? I'm really struggling with these screws. I got the drill, it's not really working. I'm getting flustered. I get so flustered just trying to put this casing on that I almost give up and go back and watch this disastrous football game. But I don't. I said, Joe, we got to stick this. It's just a bolt. We're just putting a bolt on the ceiling, Joe. How hard can this be? 4 screws. A regular handyman probably would have no problem with this. This difficulty level medium is really starting to speak to me right now. I finally get this casing on. I didn't quit, y'all. I didn't quit. I finally get the casing on. And you know, the next step is going to be putting the blades on, putting the covers over the bulbs, that type of stuff. But before I go any further, I want to just make sure everything's good to go before I do this. This is probably the smartest thing that I did, you know. Let's just make sure it works. Baby, can you go turn the power on again? She does that. I flip the switch, the light comes on immediately. And then I flip the fan switch, and the fan comes on. The spinny thing comes on immediately inside the bulb. I turn the fan switch on, and I can hear the fan thing spinning on the inside. That little circular whatever contraption, I can hear it spinning. However, the first time that I turned it on, you know, it was like, I mean, like, it wasn't really making any noise at all, but that was the good thing. It wasn't making any noise at all. I could look and I could see it spinning. So it wasn't making any noise. When I turned it on this time, it was making a noise. It was making a, you know, like when you go to a car mechanic and something's wrong with your car and you're trying to explain to them what that sound is. You're like, hey, look, my car's going like, pull over! I don't know what the hell's wrong with your car. But look, the fan's making a noise, and this ain't a good sign at all, y'all. It's making a noise. I'm trying to describe the sound to you. It's like a something along those lines, right? And I'm like, wow, this sound does not sound good at all. What the hell could this sound be? I'm thinking maybe the circular thing is rubbing across the bowl. But then I think to myself, oh my God, Joe, that's not what that sound is at all. What that sound is, that sounds like, it's them damn wires. The black, the blue, the white, the green, the copper, the red. It's 8 wires that have been screwed together with caps on them, rubbing on the top of the fan's spinny thing. I guess I was supposed to do something with those wires, possibly tucking them back up inside of the hockey puck, a little compartment. I didn't do that. I forgot about that. I thought that they would be good hidden in that bowl. They weren't. And now I am beyond ready to quit. Difficulty level medium, you got me. You got it. It's a medium for real. And I can see this project now taking all day. I got to take this bowl off again, which it shouldn't have been too difficult, but I don't know why it was. You know, it'll always be like something stupid that'll be the hard part of a job when you think it'll be like connecting wires, and really it's putting a housing over the damn fan. I got to take this thing off and figure out what to do with these wires that are absolutely stiff as nails. So I'm trying to stuff them back up in there, trying to get them all out of the way. I finally get that done. Put the housing back on. And I'm like, my God. If I got one more problem with this ceiling fan, if I got one more issue that comes from this job, this difficulty level medium, all day duration, this thing right here is going back on the ceiling. And this thing right here is going back to Walmart, just like this. Here, take your fan back. You ain't tell me how hard this was going to be for real. Again, I don't know why I still got parts left over from this job. I got the bowl on. I turned the power back on, I turned the switch back on, there's no sound whatsoever. Light still works, light bright, shining bright. I done created light. I am feeling like Thomas Edison right now. I felt like I had a kite and a string and a key and a bulb. That's what I felt like. I felt like I really accomplished something. The next step was putting the blades on, I think. I put the blades on. That wasn't an easy feat, but nothing too drastic came from that. And then you put the light cover things on, which was kind of a pain. You screw your light bulbs in and bang, you're done. Job completed. Told me it was going to take 1 day to complete. I think I completed it in like 8 hours. Whole day. Only took me 8 hours in 2 different football games. But I got it completed. And you know, for anyone who says, after watching this, that installing a ceiling fan is easy, well, either you're a master mechanic / Stephen Hawkins type of Edward Newton, Thomas Edison type of person, or you're like a really handy person. And kudos to you. If you know, installing a ceiling fan is easy for you, or you're just saying that because you ain't never done it. And you know, I don't want anybody to see this and, you know, think that they can't do it. Because if I can do it, you most certainly can do it. But it's not easy. And it is a difficulty level medium. And I just wanted to share that story with you. I'm so proud of this accomplishment, y'all. You know, this was better than hitting like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and getting the silver play button, or hitting 1 million subscribers on YouTube and still not getting the gold play button. YouTube, where is our play button at? You probably sent it to my old address. Somebody's probably looking at this like, after prison, what? Installing this ceiling fan ranks right up there with these accomplishments in my life. And you know, to throw in, like, I guess a little bit of prison stuff with this, you know, when you're locked up, you ain't never thinking about coming home and doing some stuff like this. Like, you'll never meet somebody when you're laying in your bunk and the guy's laying right next to you in his bunk and he's just staring at you and he won't stop staring at you and he's just... Anyways, but you guys start to have a conversation that leads somewhere else completely, but you'll never have a conversation like, hey, what you gonna do when you go home? Not ever once will ever come up. I think I'm gonna go home and install a ceiling fan. You know, my bedroom could probably use one. That's probably what it'll never come up. And you know, just to wrap this up on some kind of a good type of way to end this, you know, I'm proud of myself. I am. I tried to crack some jokes with this. I hope you found this enjoyable, but this was a major accomplishment. And you know, it's cool to be at a point in your life when, like, these are the type of things that you're focused on and not stupid things. You know, because I could tell you I spent my Sunday doing something completely stupid and you know, could have led to some trouble. So for any of you out there who are trying to get to a place where, like, trouble is not in your life no more and you're doing better in life, one way that you could, maybe it could help, is try to install a ceiling fan. You know, if you're thinking about going out there and doing something stupid, get you one of these bad boys instead and see how well you sleep at night, wondering if them 2 screws are really going to hold that thing up. Ceiling fan sponsored videos coming soon here to After Prison Show. Hey, look, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted. And anytime that you're doing any type of electrical work, please make sure that you cut that circuit breaker off before doing so, and make the most of every day.